Hello! What's up guys? This is Przemek Serwicki from Synergy Codes. Today, I would like to discuss with you one of the really cool topics in IT. And this topic is post-mortem. Why do you need post-mortem meetings in your project? Here, you can see an agenda for this presentation. We'll start with definition of a post-mortem and what are the benefits of such meeting. Next, I would like to tell you how such meetings look like in Synergy Codes. I'll also highlight what are the outputs that are good to have from this meeting. And in the end, I will summarize what we have learned today. So what is a post-mortem meeting? If you Google a little bit, you can find some definitions, like the one that I put on my slide. Let me read it to you. A team gathering that takes place at the end of a project, where the project team determines which parts of the project were successful and which were unsuccessful. It's like a reflection that happens after completing a project. We try to think of things that went well, things that didn't go well, or what we could do differently next time. Okay, we are familiar with the definition now. So what are the benefits then? Discussion, where the whole team is involved, allows us to identify all the things that didn't work as well as we hoped. By analyzing them, we can reach really useful conclusions and insights. This project, it may be finished, but there are new projects and new challenges ahead of us. Thanks to postmortem, we know what we can do differently or better next time, and how to avoid making mistakes. It's a good lesson that will pay off in the future projects. Having the postmortem also helps the project team to think of and share more constructive feedback with a client. How do we run it? There is no one-size-fits-all form of such a meeting. Be creative. Think of a way that will let you identify as many issues as possible. You can set pre-meeting work. Ask colleagues to think of 5 things that went well and 5 things that didn't go well. And before the meeting, prepare an agenda so that everybody understands what will be discussed. How do we run post-mortem meetings in Synergy Codes? Post-mortem starts with the recap. Why were we working on this product? What business problems was this product going to solve? It's also worth to highlight the goals of this project. What did our client expect from us at the end of the project? Next, we draw a project timeline on the board. It's important to identify and mark key stages and milestones of a project, together with aims and objectives. It's also useful to analyze this timeline and find strengths and weaknesses. For example, better and worst days of our project. Trust me, there's usually a lot to discuss when we analyze project timeline. On my slide, we can see an illustrative timeline that contains all key elements that I have mentioned. Goals of the project, key stages of the project, and the phases of the project when things were working well and when things were not working well. Okay, let's move on to the next part. When talking about the project, we focus on different aspects. It's not only technical stuff that we want to discuss, but also other aspects such as software delivery process, cooperation with the client, and communication with them. These are just examples showing the variety of topics in our discussion. Did we achieve all our goals and targets? It can be product delivery. implementation of all the required features, quality of the product, and whether the client is satisfied with it, and the really important, meeting the deadline. It's a good starting point of our discussion. And now, let's start with core question. What was the most successful part of the project? It's everything that team liked, felt comfortable with, and appreciated a lot, such as team spirit, well-defined requirements, or coverage with unit test. Share everything you liked. Next question. What was the most frustrating part of the project? Everything that your team didn't feel comfortable with. There can be communication with the client, lack of demo meetings, or number of bugs that have come up over the course of the project. Don't be shy. Mention even the most uncomfortable topics. Now, let's try to answer the following question. What would I do differently next time? Think of this question in such a way. If we had a chance to start this project again, what would we change? We could, for example, meet with our client more regularly, tackle the most challenging features right at the start of the project, or create a board to track all bugs over the course of the project. This question can help to identify a lot of creative and innovative ideas. As we identify things that didn't work so well in our project, it is important to learn lessons from them. What things didn't work out? Why was that? What caused those issues? After identifying lessons learned, it's important to discuss how to run the project differently and better next time. A magic wand. Yeah, this is the last part of post-mortem discussion. Personally, I like this one the most. If I had a magic wand, what would I use it for in the future project? Client that doesn't change his mind and always agrees with testing. It sounds like a dream, right? Or deployment of our big project that takes a few seconds instead of several minutes. Let's talk about these dream features. Maybe one day they will become reality. Okay, post-mortem is now finished. What outputs we would like to have from this meeting? Apart from list of things that went well, that didn't go well, or that we would do differently next time, it would be good to have conclusions and insights. Yeah, they will be really useful lessons for running the future projects. And not only for us, but for the whole company. Other teams working in their projects will know what things they should pay attention to. And for other teams that are starting their projects, follow best practices from the very beginning. So what can we do next after post-mortem? We can arrange a meeting with our client and share with them what we discussed during post-mortem meeting. Such a knowledge can be really useful for them as well. And for our company, try to adapt the project post-mortem process to suit our team's needs. Other project teams that didn't run post-mortem before, help them to run it. They will quickly appreciate all the benefits it brings. We are at the end of this presentation, so let's summarize what we have learned today about post-mortem. It's like a reflection that is usually conducted on completion of the project. It helps to identify successful and unsuccessful parts of the project. As a result, we can draw useful conclusions and apply them in the future projects to run them better. And we can also produce useful materials for sharing feedback with the client. That's all I wanted to tell you about post-mortem meetings. I hope you liked my presentation and learned useful things that will help you a lot in your own projects. Thank you very much for your attention and stay tuned for more episodes of Synergy Cafe.